Good morning. It's 9:30 in the morning. Market's been open about 3 hours, and that's because we're in California, I see. And today is the 31st of January. Let's take a look at a couple of markets. Here's the Australian dollar. Um, if you notice, it says PL day 430 and PL open 220. So first of all, what does that mean? That means we did a trade today where we took a profit. And from the present trade that we're in right now, there's a profit of this amount here. Okay, so the P&L open is for the present position, if there is one, and if there was a previous one, then there. Now, we're going to talk about a couple things today. One of them being what I call a wolf wave signal, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But first, I'd like to thank the many people that have been calling recently, and it's very complimentary to ask me about doing managed accounts and stuff like that. However, I'm sorry, but that's not something I do. So, um, what can I tell you? The Okay, so here's what you need to know. This here is the good old Australian dollar, and if you look here, we had what I call a Newton signal or a JR1, whatever you want to call it, and uh, and generally after you get one of these, you have a nice strong move to the upside. And notice that the next half a dozen or so bars were like blah, right? Really doing nothing. What do I mean by a nice strong move to the upside? Well, a nice strong move would be like this one here. Okay, so didn't have a strong move to the upside in the Australian dollar, and so what we did was we took another look at it and said, is it possible that we have a sell here? And we most definitely do have a sell signal in here, and as a result, took profits this morning, and so when the market went up, it was in our favor. And then we went short at 75.85, which I guess is over here. Okay, give you some idea. So that's what we have going on right now. How long will the Australian dollar go down? Well, this could be a considerable down move. We'll have to wait and see. But right now it looks like something that'll last for probably at least till the end of the week, if not much longer. Okay. All right. So the other thing we did, the other currency we did something in this morning was in the British pound, and this one we just took a quick trip to the upside. It went to what's called the FAR H, and we said, well, let's take some profits as it's going up. So we did that. Canadian dollar, Canadian dollar. We are short the Canadian dollar, and this one I can say if you now as a course member, you can look at this pattern here and go, oh yeah, I can see that. Or if you can't see it, you remember the video where I talk about what Tom likes to talk about. And Tom, by the way, is somebody who hung out at Andrew's house quite a bit. And so if you look at this pattern here and say, what would Tom say here? And you can pretty well figure it out. And so you can see that that's a daily pattern. Here's a 30-minute chart, 76.99. Where is that? 76.99. That would be up here somewhere. So, um, we're sitting there on the short side from up here somewhere. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But if this works out, this could be a down move that would last, um, quite a while. Quite a while. So quite possibly into the beginning of March. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's see, cotton, nothing going on. Dollar index, no, nothing really. Let's remove this and remove this. And Did a quick trade in the dollar index today. Made a few bucks actually from yesterday, 669. It just went. We just wound up selling it, and down she goes. And near as I can tell, it's probably going to go up a little ways before it may go a lot lower. We'll have to wait and see. Gold. What's going on with gold? Well, gold went up and made the median line today, and so we looked at our indicators and said, yeah, it's a good time to sell, so we'll have to take a chance on that. And so we're sitting on a short position in gold. How far can this go? This could quickly go down to the 1200 area and stall a while, and then go further. But looking for a quick move in this, it's up $15 today. So if I'm sitting on the short side looking for a quick move, it's obviously a down move I'm looking for. Cattle, I'm doing absolutely nothing. I haven't done jack. It's just been climbing on down, just not doing a lot of anything. Okay. Here's one of my favorites. This is the Russell, and as you can see, this one's just been this was just lovely. If you look here, you see see these little kind of like clouds almost, these candles. Notice they're all white, and when you get 10 of these guys in a row, you'll usually find me taking profits. If I'm on the long position in this one here, which I was, after 10 or so in a row, I'm taking profits. Why? Well, because statistically what I found is that when I get a whole lot of them like that, it's a good time to take profits. Bonds. Now, this one is really interesting. What we're going to do is we're going to have a special video for expanded course members, and we're going to talk about something called WolfWave. Now, there was a guy by the name of Wolf who, his last name was spelled with an E at the end. Very interesting gentleman, and he did some research and came up with a certain kind of a pattern that a lot of people have shown me, and that he looks for a certain pattern, and then he has apparently modified it by adding oscillators and other things like that, and stochastics or RSI or something like that. So we're not going to copy his work. What I have, if it works the same way or on similar situations, wonderful. But I'm not out to copy his work. A lot of people have, and a lot of people have shown it to me and said, gee, can you do this or that with it? I'm going to show you what I think Andrews would consider a wolf wave. Let's see if I can. He would probably, looking at this being a wolf wave. Okay, and the real interesting thing about a wolf wave is often when you get one, all you really need to do is draw your, you see it, you see the pattern, and then you just let it go down, let it come back up again, right up to the H line here. And around here is where you usually get some strong support or resistance. Okay, and that's kind of neat. Let's see another place where I saw one. Well, this is a weekly chart, and so there's a whole different dynamic here. But this is a nice example of one, and we'll talk about more about that. Now, what's interesting here is that we presently have one in the bonds. So at a later point, I'll be drawing the same lines that I drew in the other thing in order to determine an additional entry if I want to make an additional entry in this. Okay, but right now we have the standard pattern, and so that's always fun. Okay, now we will be making this special WolfWave video, and we're going to add it to the list of videos that we have for the expanded group. And I think you'll find that it's much easier to determine than the one made by the gentleman whose name ends with an E, that Mr. Wolf, and so and doesn't use any of his parameters. So that's always a nice thing. Anyway, this is what we have going on right now. These are the charts that I'm looking at, and market's just kind of doing its thing. And if you want to notice something, notice that in the morning, within an hour or so, within an hour or two after the stock market opening, a lot of these things will make their move, so to speak, for the day. And so it's not surprising that there's traders out there who just trade very early in the morning or the night before, and then boom, once things get going, they leave. So this here, for example, was 8 a.m. and right now we're sitting at 9:40. Okay. So, and the stock market opened at 6:30 our time. So that's an hour and a half after stock market opened. So it's in the morning that a lot of the moves are made. And this coincides with Europe being open. Right? Europe generally closes down about, they should be closed right around now. So they probably closed just a little bit earlier. So anyway, if you haven't taken Andrew's course, please do. Just go to andrewscourse.com. If you want to be in the free group that gets the emails as to when these videos come out for the free group, just go on there and join the Precision Trader group. It's free. You don't get any Viagra email or any of that weird stuff. We monitor that. And if you'd like to join the course, what happens is you get to join our private email group, which gives you insights that you wouldn't get otherwise. So I thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.